Hello, all of you bold, beautiful, brilliant, and highly evolved souls. I'm Davina, and today I'm going to talk about verbal ventilation, which you may have heard about if you have read Pete Walker's book. And he talks quite a bit about this kind of process in order to promote healing. And what verbal ventilation really is just speaking. It's speaking or writing about your trauma in order to release painful emotions and repressed emotions. And I've just been reading about it, and you can actually do this in written form or in, verbal form, like out loud. And I've actually been practicing this method just sort of, I don't know. I did read Pete Walker and it just kind of came to me naturally, I think. I live by myself. So I'm able to talk out loud freely and without I don't have to worry about someone listening to me or judging me. I don't have to pause. I can literally just let it out, let it rip. And it's very freeing. And you can do this with a counselor as well. For me, I find, like, because I'm a fawner, that if I go into counseling, then I put on the kind of a little bit of a, I don't know, just I don't feel like I can quite really fully, let it rip as I do when I'm by myself and not worried about what other people are going to think of me. Because obviously that's a huge one for people pleasers. So, um, if you haven't tried it yet, I would highly recommend this method. And as I was reading about it, it does say, to start slowly and, start cautiously. As always, just be gentle, use your intuition. If it doesn't feel right, you can stop. I also read there's a cautionary thing in terms of possibly, it becoming, instead of verbally ventilating just emotions, you start actually in that inner critic attack mode. So that's just something to be aware of if you're starting this process, and something I had never thought of. So, but anyway, this is just a great chance for you to express yourself, to freely express yourself in an uncensored way. And this can not only heal, because you're speaking and feeling at the same time, they're happening together. So you can heal that trauma by going into that flashback, and like I do it when I'm in a flashback. I guess maybe not everyone does, but that's typically when I do my verbal ventilating, is when I'm just in a flashback. And oftentimes I literally just become Donna. It's all, I can't really separate myself into like this loving parent and inner child. I just keep a little piece of awareness there that, okay, I'm in a flashback. I'm letting Donna, these are Donna's words. Sometimes I lose that awareness and I'm just so wrapped into it that it's like these are my feelings right now. And so whatever method or way works for you. But yeah, and the second thing, so it heals, of course, because you're healing. And also it's healing because it's giving you the chance to express yourself freely, which is not something you were likely allowed if you live with a narcissist. Actually, it's something that you were definitely not allowed, correction, if were brought up by a narcissist. And especially the scapegoat, they know they want to shut you up, they want to keep you down. And so self-expression is so key to, regaining our self-worth, our self-confidence, and our ability to also speak with others. Because when even in these videos, it's been tremendously helpful for me to start speaking, because I haven't always been a great speaker. And you probably notice I say ums a lot, and that's likely when I'm in a shame flashback. So, I'm working on it. And yeah, so this process can help you grieve. You can, anger out your feeling. You can just let rip whatever's going on. Like this morning, I was angry at everyone. I was telling my parents to F off. I was telling God to F off. I was angry. I was angry because I'm in pain all the time and I'm tired of it. And I just ranted and complained and cried and just let it all out. And I usually tend to do this when I'm cooking, which is kind of strange maybe, but I usually do my kind of morning cooking and food prep in the morning. So it does tend to be a limited time. And I think that's maybe kind of important because I don't think you'd want to be in this state like all day or like 8 hours or something. So I tend to do it for probably about 2 hours. Which seems like a long time, but I often have a lot to release. And when I get up in the morning, I'm in a flashback and things just start coming. And so it just kind of happens very naturally. So, I would say, choose a time frame of how much you want to verbally ventilate and kind of keep, be flexible with that. But yeah, just so you can say, this is my time to, let it out and let it rip. And what I was interesting thing I was reading about was that, and something I've heard about before is that when you're in a flashback, your right side of the brain is really hyperactive and like overstimulated because you're just in this emotional, you're obviously in a very highly, overwhelming emotional state. And so the left brain, when you're doing this verbal ventilating, the thinking and the feeling, like you get the thinking of the left side and the feeling of the right kind of come together because you're using, your thinking side, the language side to, obviously to speak and to form your sentences. And so these things come together and you're thinking and feeling simultaneously. And what I read, it said by repeatedly doing this verbal ventilation, you can actually form new neural pathways, which allow the left side and the right side of your brain to then work together and in a more balanced way. So this is kind of what I wanted to bring to you today. And I'd definitely be curious if you're doing this already, how you're finding it. Are you finding good results or, so I'm definitely interested in if you want to leave a comment. And if you want to learn more about it, I mean, obviously you can Google it. Pete Walker speaks a lot on this in both of his books, Complex Trauma from Surviving to Thriving, and also the Tao of Fully Feeling. That is also a really great resource. So you can check those out. And it's been tremendously useful for me. I do this every weekend, and as I said, it's a very kind of a strange, it's almost like an different world that you've entered into. For me anyway, that's how it feels, because I've just become this inner child, and I'm just really spontaneously speaking whatever's in my heart, whatever's on my mind. And I do find it these days. I don't go to counseling anymore because I just find it kind of stifling, and like I don't get to I can't really just do that kind of thing. So, but each to his own. And of course, all my ideas are, yours to take it or leave it. But and if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. And I'm wishing you many, many blessings on your journey of healing and awakening. And I am Davina at Boldness Blooming. Thanks for watching.